What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stafford back again with another video. Now this is part 2 of how to edit a product on a white background. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, it's going to be right up here in the description. Otherwise, from that, you know what we got to do. We got to roll that intro. So we're going to hop right in Photoshop and we're going to get this party started. As you remember previously, we took the images. Now this is all of them within Lightroom itself. And I already gone ahead and selected the ones that we're going to view, but just to recap, we're going to go through all of them just to show you. Oh. We're going to be using image 13 and image 15 in our composite. So here I'm going to select both of them and then open them up as layers in Photoshop. Both layers are loaded. So as you can see, there's like some micro jitters between each shot. The way how we're going to go ahead and fix that discrepancy, we're going to highlight both of them. I'm going to go over here to edit, auto align layers. That way, auto align layers will allow Photoshop itself to just merge the images together, since it only was some micro jitters while we were shooting. That way we don't have to waste time doing it. And as you can see, for the most part, Photoshop did a good job aligning both of these photos. Now, you may be wondering why we have two images here. The reason why we have two images, because as you notice on top of this product, on the bottom image, it's completely dark within this area. So we're going to use the top layer to just brighten that up. Alright, here we go. I'm going to hold down Alt, press this. That way it creates a complete black mask. We got the brush selected. 0% hardness. I could go ahead and put it on a pressure, but I'm just going to use the regular soft brush. And I'm just going to paint it right in. Doesn't need to be perfect. Why? Because we're going to end up selecting this product anyway and cropping it out from the background. Another thing that you might want to do is clean up the product a little bit before we even go ahead and make the full selection. Or you could do it afterwards, whatever floats your boat. Spot heal. That's what I'm going to use to start things off. Now I am going to go ahead and fast forward this cleaning, so that way it's not making the video extra long. But yeah, for the most part, you could use the spot healing brush, you could use the clone stamp, and there's another one, I forgot the name of it. Here it goes, the patch tool. Those three you can use to clean up the product. Again, whatever you like using. Me personally, I like using the spot healing brush, and then I'll use the other tools as needed. Looks like we got a lot of dust right here. Clean up. So this is the final product. Essentially, you can kind of see like how much we've really cleaned it up. Again, this is just not 100% perfect. Of course, you just take as much time as you need to really just dive in and just clean up the product as you feel as though that it needs. I think this looks good, and so we're gonna keep it like that, and we're just gonna move on. So yeah, there's some like other little imperfection right up here, right here. You can see that the color is off, but you know about it. You could dive in on your own products and just take care of that. I, for one, think it's fine, and I'm sure the client won't see it anyway. But taking that time to really dive in is really what sets you apart from other photographers and other people just getting started in the industry. So I'm gonna go ahead and group it, and now I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out. So this right here is the object selection tool. You want to make sure you want to change the top from rectangle to lasso. Now you could change it, but one click selects the whole product. And then at that point, you could just go in and refine as needed. Is it always 100% perfect? No, as you can see, it comes off a little bit. Doesn't wrap around the edge completely, but it is a good starting point, and I like using it. So I'm gonna grab the lasso. I'm just gonna try my best to curve around here. Alright, so that's selected. Now I'm gonna go ahead and select the bottom portion as well for the shadow. Now there is a technique, you don't need to use the shadow, you can always make your own, but I like using it. And then for this instance, I will just go ahead and draw. It doesn't need to be perfect. Why? Because it'll go ahead and make the selection for you. Oh, forgot to press the add button. If you don't press the add button, of course, it's like you're making a new selection. So hold down shift, you'll see the little plus. Click on this again, and it'll come back. From there, since it's have it in group, I'm just gonna mask it out in the group, and it gets rid of the background for me. Now, if you look down at the bottom, it's not clear or it's not sharp. So, but we're gonna take care of that. Next thing I'm gonna do is add in a white background, because this is what we're working with. I'm going to resize this product so it's nice and big in the forefront. I'm holding Alt, that way everything expands at the same time. I think that's a good size right there. Now, edges don't look like it had a nice good selection. You can see dark spots on the top. So one way you can take care of that is, first you want to make sure and check that it's not the top of your selection that's dark from the previous one we made. As you can see, it's not. So what you can do is go up to select, actually not select, where is it? Oh yeah, filters, other, should be minimum. It's either gonna be minimum or maximum that you could use to like shrink it in. That way you could just get rid of the edges. And we want to change it to roundness. Yes, it is minimum. Went a little too far. But as you can see, the edge on the top is already gone because it's refining that selection for us, shrinking it down. And I think that looks good. Otherwise, with the mask, we will have to go on by hand and then just refine some of the edges that was cut off. As I mentioned before, it is a good starting point using that type of selection. Another selection you could use is the pen tool, which is the most accurate you could actually get it. So I've inverted this so I can see where it was missed. I'm just gonna go on with my brush, change it to a hard edge, and really just take my time. Oh, I'm using the wrong color. I'm gonna go over to the soft brush to get the corners. Ease it in. Alright, let's see how that looks. Sweet. Missed a spot right here. So we're gonna go on and correct that with the soft brush. Alright, so right here I kind of see like it's like faded a little bit, which means it's not a pure white, meaning the selection is like feathered slightly, which nothing wrong with it. I'm just being a little picky to fill that in somewhat. Sweet. Now to get rid of this from being so harsh, create a new slide. You could go on gradient or just press G. For the gradient tool, you want to make sure that it's going to basics. You want to have a basic one that's like transparent. So that way when you take it from the bottom, you can slowly, wrong color. So that way you can take it from the bottom and gradually bring it up to like fade it away, which gives it a nicer, cleaner look. You still get the shadow because it's the original shadow from the product, and then it still looks super, it's pretty good. So this is a product so far on a white background. Adding the shadow alone to the bottom just makes it look 3D. Now what you can do, you can go ahead and leave it like this, or you can go ahead and enhance the colors to really make it pop out even more. Now you can see the before and after. It almost seems like we added vibrance to the image, but of course we just targeted this color with selected color, and it just makes it look even better. I'm gonna try going in the cyan channels and actually see if there's any cyans within this. Some slight cyan, so I'm gonna add in just a few, not trying to overdo it in any capacity. even then that looks amazing. For whites, I'm gonna see how far I could take it. This right here completely blows it out. So I'm gonna do -25 on each one to get pure white without overdoing it. That just looks amazing. If you want to add more depth to the photo, what you can do is so at that point you can call this product good, complete, and obviously it's a hero shot of the product, so you can leave it just like that. If you want a black background, you can go ahead and change the color to black, but keep in mind that you did use the gradient tool to help the reflection underneath look a lot more appealing to the eyes. So what you will need to do is just change the color from your white to black, so that way when you're doing the gradient of the reflection, it's still on the black background and it's white. Because if you go ahead and switch that background right now, you're going to have a white strip at the bottom with the background being black. Also, if you do want to get another layer, if you want to make it look even more 3D, what you can do is this. So I already created a new layer. What I'm going to do is add a black or a blue strip. What color blue? I'm going to go with something real light. This blue. Make my brush solid. Anyway, I'm going to make a straight line from one side to the next, as straight as possible. We always turn it. And this look almost straight to me, which is fine. Of course, we want this to be behind the product. Oh, I put it in. I don't remember which one it is. So we want this behind the product. We're going to tweak it a little bit. We're going to stretch it. Really stretch it. And then we're going to thin it out. Photoshop. So that way it gives it an even more 3D look, and it looks like light is bleeding from the back. Because if you remember in part 1, we did have a reflective plate down. And so if we were to shine light behind the table, it will give it this nice effect right here. And this is how you can make it more 3D or more three-dimensional. Otherwise, it's still a product on a white background. And guys, till next time, what I'm going to ask you to do is do what your other favorite YouTubers always tell you to do. Hit the like button, smash it if something you're into. If you want to press thumbs down, smash it twice. Otherwise from that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.